is getting forced throughout
Okay.
when they say they pass. But I want to tell you that Nest of Hermon did not fail any child. The worst child we had a 14 aggregate.
Okay.
And only one person.
Maybe I would say, okay, lack of a better word, we can use the worst child for now.
For that year,
yes,
the worst child. Me, I will call the person the worst.
The worst child. Okay.
And
14 aggregates. That is super second.
Yeah, super second grade. So we like I said, when we train them, we train them not only to pass as people think it's passing, but to prepare them for the world out there.
Yes.
When a child comes in Nest of Hermon, that makes us even different. You will not find a child go out there and then struggle, not at all.
Okay. Now, speaking of the 4 times that you have had your children do PLA, let's put it back to statistics. How is the graph? Could we say it is shooting?
It is shooting.
It is curving?
No. It is shooting. It is shooting. Really, I'm telling you, it is shooting. Because basically, 2019, I think we had 3 second grades.
Okay.
Something like that. Then these other 2 years that came about were producing 2 second grades. But last year, we had 1 second grade. And it was super.
Grade. Wow.
And produced an aggregate 5.
Wow, that's a good one.
The best had aggregate 5, and I will say the lowest now. Let me change the word from the worst. But the best had aggregate 5, and the lowest person in that year had a 14.
14.
Yep.
Now, when we put it back to percentages, because I have had schools deal so much with percentages, 100% first grade. What is the percentage somewhere?
Percentage depends on the number of children that have sat in your school. The most recent percentage we had was a 93.8%.
Wow. Okay.
And to statistics, I think we were the 3rd in the whole of Bunyoro. Because definitely Hoima was the best.
Oh.
Yep.
The best in Bunyoro?
In the whole of Bunyoro.
Wow.
And in our ranking, we were the 3rd in the whole of Bunyoro.
Wow.
Only beaten by 2 schools, and both of them were in Hoima. But we promise this year we are going to show them.
Okay, beaten by 2 schools, and both of them were in Hoima. I am only wondering why is Masindi. Anyhow, yeah, maybe we shall have to send you a few students from Masindi. Now closing it. That's why you're here. Yes. Yeah, of course, to tap into the market of Masindi, yes, as well. Now, our viewers, Mr. Mark is the head teacher of Nest of Harmony Primary and Kindergarten Schools. Now, I am going to ask on the issue of admissions. Getting to admissions, because it is a holiday, do other admissions happening right now? Could there be any due dates for the interviews? And the likes.
Our gates are open and admission is taking place currently right now. We might be here, but the head teacher leaving the school does not mean the school has closed. There are people there who are admitting. Up to now, we have vacancies in classes from P1 to P6. We can no longer take in any P7.
Oh.
At this time, no.
So in other words, you've shaped your creme de la creme
that is
in
it.
P7.
Yeah, that is it. We can't take in a P7 right now. But P1 to P6, there's an opportunity. But admissions are going on right now. And we encourage all people out there to bring the children. We know we shall groom them.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, head teacher. Let me get to Jordan. Yeah. Yes, Jordan. Now, Nest of Harmony, being an institution since 2009, I want to say 4 years since you started doing PLE, and then I don't know what I can subtract 2009 minus 2024. Is it about 13 years or so? Yeah, about there. Now, 13 years down the road, what are these initiatives? Yeah. That the school has introduced in the learning system of the students?
Thank you so much, Elijah. Nest of Hermon caters for all that. Number one, we are so much into talent.
Yes.
The school and the team believe that there has to be an alternative to academics.
An alternative for academics.
Yes.
So, in other words, we are leaving a reason of doubt that in case a child does not take the academic line, they are taking the talent line.
Yes. Academics, when you're studying economics, academics is an investment.
Okay.
And like any other investment, believe me not, there are some risks that you make. I'll give you an example. I've heard of personalities saying that while I was in senior 2, my parents passed away. And so my journey ended there.
Yeah.
Believe me not, now the risk has come in. What else do you know? What else can you do apart from this failed academics that you are taking on? Now that is where I come in.
Okay.
Now, we do this through what we call clubs. And we have been so outstanding in that we study for only 4 days in class. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's how we've been running. Now on Friday, we don't study. We only come in for clubs. Clubs help promote talent.
Well, that is quite unique.
Yeah, it is indeed very unique, and it has taken us an effort to have people appreciate it. Now, under clubs, we have a team that will go for swimming. It means we are training future swimmers.
And more especially the skill. That is a
Yes.
very good skill, life-saving skill.
Yes. Secondly, we have those who cook. We call it cookery. We introduce learners to simple skills in cooking. So we also have that team. Then there is another team of artists. Drawing, modeling, and all that under art. We also have cyclers. These ones entirely learn how to cycle because we feel we are preparing this team maybe for Olympics. You never know. We also have jazz band, which we would call MDD, but for us we call it jazz band. Here we train dancers, we train singers.
I'm only trying to figure out how these things are all happening in a school setup. Yeah, because being a Friday, you mentioned the team goes for swimming, then the rest will stay for these activities. Now the question is, do you give an opportunity to the students to subscribe to these things, or you identify and you're like, okay, Elijah can swim, this one can do jazz band, or what is the process of identifying this talent?
Thank you so much. We usually write to parents. We write to parents. We encourage parents to talk to their children so that they can amicably agree. Sometimes it is interest. And sometimes you find a child trying out like 3 before settling in for 1. You understand?
Oh, okay.
So every beginning of the term we write to parents, kindly inform us which club your child will be subscribing to.
Okay.
Then we make groups, we group them up. So you find like swimmers are 100, then and at exactly 9:30, we are going for different activities. Now, I was talking about the jazz band. There is acting, there is the dancing, there is
playing
singing,
instruments.
and some instruments also. There are some instruments that we have introduced. So at the end of the day, what we are doing is we are igniting. We are helping this child to identify what they can do out of their natural abilities, what they can do apart from academics. For us, we believe as a school, we are encouraging, we are starting this special thing called talent that is within the child.
Which is an alternative.
And we always encourage parents that for whichever secondary school this child is going to, can you look back? What was my child doing in Nest of Hermon? That my child was a swimmer. Then can you look for a secondary school that maybe has these facilities so that we can promote this talent? Because you never know. It could be this talent that will make this child famous, or that will make this child rich, name it. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, the Talent Ignition Manager, that is Jordan. Jordan Kitasovoka. Yeah,
yes,
by now I got to know, to understand the name and also the meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the viewers also have their perspective, but for now, let's go with Kitasovoka.
Okay.
Mukama Koraki?
Abisobora.
Yes. All right, now let me get to Fiona Nancy Akomijuni. An inclusive learning environment for the students is what most of the parents would desire to have, what even the child themselves would desire to have. How does Nest of Harmony feature in this?
Thank you, Elijah, once again.
Okay.
I'm Fiona Nancy, and I'm the team leader. That's a very interesting question, and it's a wide one,
True.
but very pertinent. Inclusive is what the government is advocating for all schools. Lately, we're identifying that learners have learning disabilities. We run a school that respects nature,
Okay.
as in God's creation. Like our fingers are not the same size. Nest of Hermon believes we cannot have learners, let me say 30, 50 learners, and all of them get the same mark in performance. That's why we have a variety of these things. Now back to the point of inclusion. Inclusive learning is bringing our focus on why is this child not excelling in math, why is this one not able to read, why is the other one not. It is a situation where we have been brought to speed to understand the variation in performance. Okay. Normally, ideally, when you say inclusive learning, we are mainly focusing on children with disabilities, being part of the learning system of the school. We are coming from a background where we are having special needs schools in specific areas, like in Hoima. We know children with hard of hearing challenges are taken to a school called St. Benedetta. And elsewhere, it's not there. But we are running, Nest of Hermon is very respectful, because disabilities are not only in hard of hearing or physical disabilities, like a child has a lame feet and others maybe squint eyes, but there is also brain-based spectrums, like dyslexia. Dyslexia is a situation where a child is unable to learn reading and writing with ease. A situation where you find children are not able to tell apart number 9, letter B, letter D, and letter P. Okay? Letter M, letter W, N, and U. Okay? So you find that these children are very difficult to teach reading and
Yeah.
writing, something that a parent wants. Now, what Nest of Hermon is doing is, of course, my specialty is there. I'm an early childhood advocate by training. We are able to do early intervention, and it's very critical for us. We help parents. The disabilities are very different. Much as you didn't ask me to dig deep into
yes,
that.
yes. Yeah, of
But I
course,
want to
when it gets to inclusiveness, we realize in the background there are a lot of those ones.
Yes, so there's a case of dyslexia. There's a case of delayed speech and chewing. There's a case of this one, which is very common, autism. An autistic child is not a common thing in our setting, where you'll identify this. Actually, sometimes they are identified as hyperactive children, children who are very restless. They can't settle. They can't focus.
They're up
a
and
number of
down.
things. Yes.
Sometimes
Sometimes it's not to that extreme that it needs medical intervention. Sometimes it just needs therapy and upbringing. So Nest of Hermon has a program that takes care of that. Personally, I'm a mother of hard of hearing children, two of them. My two girls were born deaf, but now they are able to speak, to hear and speak through medical intervention. And so Nest of Hermon goes all the way. We have extremes, very minor things that defame, that demean a child, like bedwetting. We have cases of coming from broken families, where actually at that stage is where we find that narcissistic personality disorder begins from broken homes, not minding children, busy parents, and others. So to sum it up, Nest of Hermon is very sensitive to individual children. As you bring in your child, there is what we call in education, what are they called? Training centers, teacher training centers. They call it child study. Okay. Now, child study is very key in Nest of Hermon. So when it comes to inclusive learning, we are there. That's what I can say. I don't know whether
inclusive and supportive.
Yes,
learning.
Yes.
All right. Now, when it gets to the structure of the school, I haven't been to Nest of Harmony, but of course I have to be there one of these days. Speaking of the supportive way or the inclusiveness, how is the school built? Do we have children that are able to use, how do they call them? The wheelchairs, yes. The wheelchairs, and also the verandas, how do they look like? Is it something you've considered in the structure plan?
Yes. I think it's called a ramp, where you push a child into class. Yeah, we do. We do at some points, and other points we have steps. We haven't really. We are, like I said, we are a school that is progressing at a normal rate. I wouldn't call us a fast-growing school now, where we have a long-term vision, and so at the moment our structures are at a first story, and I can say yes. As we build our structures, or we are putting up structures right from the gate. We have a main entrance and a ramp.
Okay.
And so I believe we take care of that.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, our viewers, for keeping it live on Elkem TV. Thank you so much, Fiona. Now, I want to dive a little bit into the comment section, because I feel there are a few questions you could actually be in position to address, or any of us. Shouton says, thanks for the show. And then please share the school fee structure. And maybe the head teacher maybe could support, or if you can support Fiona. Then Onesmus Barijuka says, thank you so much, Nest of Harmony. Then he is also saying, please share the school fee structure as well. And then someone is asking, does the school have a van? yeah, probably this is about the struggles of the children here and there, the day scholars. Yes, do you want to answer this one?
I'm able to answer.
Okay.
I thank you, our viewers, for the beautiful questions. Yes, we do have transport facilities. We have a pick and drop system.
Okay.
We boast about 5 vans that go to different locations. Actually, in Hoima, we go as far as Butema, as far as Kasingo, as far as Kipapati, that is towards the lake. We come up to Mparo and other places. We do morning, afternoon, and evening.
Okay.
Then our fee structure, we hold a humble fee structure, very affordable. Our school fees, of course, range. Kindergarten, we are at only 340. Primary, we have lower primary and upper primary. We have 360. And then 380 school fees. But on top of that, there's an option for one who wants a boarding section. Onto the school fees, you add on a 300 for boarding.
Yeah, that is
which
quite
brings
fair.
it to around 540 for kindergarten, 500 and rather 640, and maybe 680 for the primary.
Maybe just a little bit on when it gets to the feeding, because now the day scholars and that money, do they expect evening tea, breakfast, lunch? I have seen schools that say, Kiamsana, you have to pack. Yes.
I can answer that question perfectly well, but I love the way Mark loves to boast. He's very proud of our menu.
Okay. Oh.
Thank you, our time leader. You've really brought something. You saw me smile. Let me tell you one thing. I usually tell people, and they think I'm joking, but it's the truth. Give us a visit. We are the best feeding school in the whole of Western. We're only beaten by one school, and it is in Kampala.
Okay. And
That's
you know
what
it?
Yes, very well, because I've visited. We do a balanced diet, and the students eat, because we have diet like Monday, they do posho. When you go to Tuesday, they do posho macarons.
Wow.
Wednesday, there is posho rice. And we usually have a Friday to do beef, and those who don't do beef do other sauce.
The chicken.
So that is it. That's why I say we are the best feeding school, and they eat, surely.
All right.
Yeah, I forgot the porridge. One, there's that, for example, the boarding are entitled to early morning tea.
Okay.
At 7, they're given a cup of tea plus accompaniment, a snack. At 10:30, every child in the school is entitled to a cup of porridge for some days. And there are other days where we say no, we serve tea. You know, over giving porridge also sometimes irritates. So there are days we give tea. And then in the evening, for the kindergarten, before they go, every child has to take a cup of porridge. Yep.
Wow. So in other words, by the time the child gets home, they are not complaining
Of hunger?
to bother the children, the parents here and there. Probably the parents are not yet home, by the way. Yeah, to prepare probably dinner for the children. So yeah. Okay. All right. Maybe you can still get to answer this one. I want us to speak a little bit of the innovation that you look at, how you apply it in the learning system of the children, but also in the teaching methods that you use. How do you look at innovation? Yeah, and the likes.
Usually when a teacher goes to college,
Okay.
there are things that they are taught, or we are taught. Basically in college we are taught to teach. But now you're talking about innovation. Nest of Hermon particularly has very many things that we have innovated to align with the academics. For example, we're giving an example that practically you cannot tell a child that, for example, you're teaching a child about mountains. I'm going to SST. I said the highest mountain in East Africa is Mountain Kilimanjaro. For us, we go a step ahead.
Mm-hmm.
We use screens.
Oh, wow.
We use screens and bring, so that the student can see. We
How
miracast,
does-
and the child sees the Kilimanjaro we are talking about. If we talk about volcanicity, the child differentiates between a dead volcano and an
and
active
erupting.
volcano. Are you getting it? On the screen.
I
When we
hope I
talk
remember
about
some
science,
SST.
plant growth,
Okay.
we just don't do mirror casting there. So we have innovated the technology there. We have also, for us, we believe in practicability. We believe something given to me, I can understand, but I understand it best when I touch it.
Yes.
That's why you see some of the clubs cater for some subjects. Some of the clubs cater, because they talked about the cookery. The cookery does not end about getting knives but they even go to the garden, practically.
So in other words, the scholars affirm
Demonstrative.
demonstrative. Okay.
Yeah, demonstrative gardens of different things. For example, like they said, cookery. I forgot also that we also give greens to our children. So when they go in these demonstrative gardens, these things grow. They get fruits. Are you getting it? But why am I? What I'm saying exactly? We have put some innovations in as the generation goes on to make sure that this child understands. Like I said, I gave you an example of a screen where the child knows that this is what I'm supposed to do. And advantage, they have told you that we have vehicles. In English, there is vehicle repair and maintenance.
Yeah.
We don't need to take a child out to the garage to know that.
They
We
will
just come to the
definitely, yes.
compound, and those are the innovations we have done to make sure everything is right.
All right. Thank you so much, the head teacher. Our viewers that are watching us live on Elkem TV, thank you so much for keeping it live on Elkem TV. This is Elkem Business Spot, and of course, today we have Nest of Harmony. Nest of Harmony is located in Hoima, Kiganda. Yes. You say I'm always confused by certain places in Hoima, but I'm able to capture this one. Yes, that is Hoima, Kiganda. That is Palace Road. Yes, Murunyoro Rugudo Rugenda Omukama. Or Rukuruga Ombukama. One of the two. Ekikali, yes, Ekikali Kiabunyoro. So when you get around that area, you're in position to look for Nest of Harmony, primary and kindergarten school. Let me get to Jordan. Yeah, Jordan a little bit. Jordan, preparing students for success beyond classroom. I know you've already spoken about the talents, and maybe you could be in position to expatiate more or elaborate more about how do you prepare these students beyond classroom, success beyond classroom.
Thank you so much, Elijah. Whenever I'm handling learners, I always tell them I know a lot of things. I only ask them for their attention so that I can teach them all these things. And I always tell them, be in position to learn them because you never know when you will need them. To give an example, believe me, when COVID struck, during that time, you would see people looking out for what they can do. Personally, I know carpentry, which I learned on YouTube.
Okay.
So that is how I survived. I did carpentry.
On YouTube?
I learned, that's a skill I acquired via YouTube. So
Okay.
that is how I survived.
During
COVID.
Okay.
I always show we watch a lot because when you come to school, there are a lot of screens in the school, and there is one as you at the entrance there in my office.
Oh.
I don't have this closed office. I don't like that atmosphere. I prefer sitting outside and I can see. So
and you can see
there is a
everything.
screen. We are always watching. There is a guy that I like so much, I understand he's from Masindi. He's called Brian's Fashion something.
Oh, yes.
He's called Bagonza something.
Bagonza.
Yes.
Bagonza is Epas. Brian's.
Brian's is okay.
The fashionista.
Yes. Now this guy, if you came to Nest of Hermon, these learners know him via watching what he does. It is about inspiring them. We went to Gigi, we looked out for his products, and they couldn't believe it, how much this guy would earn through tailoring. And I always tell them that even if you are a doctor, you can be a doctor but still have a boutique. Just like how I tell them, I did finance at university, but still I'm here teaching you how to do embroidery. Now,
Wow.
P5...
talent manager, you
Yes,
see,
please.
you're speaking of these things and they are quite very exciting. Yeah, so are you telling us that while you prepare the students beyond classroom, you engage them into tailoring, embroidery? Okay.
Primary 5, 6 and 7, for them they have a special time where we engage them in projects. We call them projects. Projects now we are getting into serious. I'm focusing them onto the skills that they are learning and how they can turn them into business. For example, by P6, end of primary 6, a student knows around 17 types of stitches. Stitching kubazira. We call it embroidery. Now with embroidery, they must learn it and even do a piece that they can put on market. Young as they are. You look
P5.
Yes, you look at a piece and you are in position to buy it, maybe for decoration, and so on and so forth. So, how do I prepare these learners even outside class and beyond school? Some of these learners who have done jazz band and they are very good at singing. Actually, when you come at school, we have a complete music system. We have a piano, we have the speakers and all that. It helps us to do live music. And I have taken them to churches because we are Christian based. So I use churches and we've gone to lead praise and worship.
The students play for the church, the entire church.
They do live music.
Wow.
In church, praise and worship. Imagine P5, P6, P7. Now, for me, at the back of my mind, I want these children, number one, to get used, to gain that confidence of looking at these very many people and they stand before them and they perform.
The confidence.
The confidence. Secondly, improving that skill of singing. You know, it is a task. You knowing how to hold the microphone at the right position.
True.
You sing the right tone or tune in line with the instruments. And the recent achievement that the school has gained via this is in January there was a convention at Bujumbura. And the girl, Bujumbura Catholic Diocese, you know that convention which always happens there. This girl, Gloria Huniriza, led the praise and worship for that convention. She's now in senior too. She started with us from baby class. She's in St. Andrea. But she led the praise and worship. This is a massive occasion.
Wow.
So, in order to prepare for these learners, we have so much used these avenues.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Wow. It is quite very, very much interesting. You see, I am now trying to compare and contrast with our primary schools, the schools that we went to, the schools that we went to, the kind of education that we acquired. No wonder I do not even know how to play the piano or any of those instruments. All right, thank you so much, Jordan. I like the fact that it is not just about the learning in class, but also the learning outside class. Because most of the people would think learning is only done in class. So by the time a child is going to the swimming, they have gone to tailoring, they have gone to all these sorts of games. You didn't speak about the games. Do we have games at Nest of Harmony?
Yeah, we do have the games, and we always participate in the various tournaments.
Okay.
We have taken part into the athletics. We have also taken part into football. But our major ones are football, cycling,
Okay.
and swimming. That's where
Football,
we major.
cycling, and swimming.
And swimming.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what basically that is it.
Oh.
And it is on program that we want to promote this swimming, because just like our team leader said, this is a growing school. On our plan, we have a swimming pool. I'm very sure in a few years to come we shall have it at school. We want to promote this swimming so much in that we want to be known as one of the schools that does swimming. And before COVID, I had actually visited some schools in Kampala. I had gone to Kampala
To
parents.
benchmark.
Yeah, for benchmarking. I had looked at their pool. Actually, we had even traveled and we were here in Masindi because the pools in Hoima are not so big, but there is one we visited here. I've forgotten the name of the hotel, but it has a very
Here?
big hotel. Yeah,
In Masindi?
in Masindi here.
Oh, the big pool. That
has
is
a-
Country Inn.
Country Inn. It has a very big pool, so I brought them for exposure. But hadn't it been for COVID, believe me not, we would now be participating in tournaments even beyond what we do here. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Jordan. The parents, the viewers that are watching us live on Elkem TV, I am keeping my eyes in the comment section, so keep those comments flowing. I am going to read some. Mayanja says, wow. Apostle Robert Lubega says, I've loved the school and the tuition is fair. Then Life Safe Driving School. This is my good friend. Life Safe Driving School. Blessings, Nest of Harmony. Again, Life Safe Driving School is saying kindly share the school contacts. I guess yes. The school contacts are on the screen. You're in position to see the contacts of the school. And then Kagadi's Finest says, please could you put for us a secondary school? Yes, could you put for us a secondary school? And then Apostle Rubega says, next term, I'm bringing my last born by the grace of God. Of course, by the grace of God now. Next term is actually here. It is just next week. Yes, you should. It's a very good... Yeah, you're in Masindi. Actually, Apostle Robert Lubega, please, you can be in position. I don't know where he is right about now, but you can be in position to come through at Elkem Media Services, or the contacts are on the screen. You're able to contact the school and get to know where are they right now. Or you can get to Kiganda and be in position to get the services and also register your child for next term. All right, thank you so much. Exactly. So if you have WhatsApp, you can be in position to get that number on the screen and then send in our WhatsApp and get all the information that you need about Nest of Harmony and then the admission. The head teacher said the admissions are ongoing at the school please take your child for admission so that they subscribe or they get to a Nest of Harmony primary and kindergarten school. Now, our time is fast spent, but let me get to Fiona. We calculated, I hope our math was correct. We spoke of 14 years down the road, and then 4 years later, after you've had your children sit for, that is the primary living examinations. Now, being the vision bearer or the brainchild or the team leader of this particular institution, what are these success stories or achievements that are notable for Nest of Harmony?
Thank you once again. There's something you mentioned earlier, and I felt the next time I hold the microphone, I should come through.
It's okay.
The harmony.
The
harmony and Hermon.
Oh.
Nest of Hermon is a product of Psalm 133. We were young, particularly 2009. I think I graduated in 2006. And then my other colleague graduated in 2008. And we had our other team behind us. So we kind of resented working for others. We wanted to establish ourselves, but we didn't want to do this from Kampala. We came to
home.
We came home. We were supported by my dad, my late dad, the late Mohinda Arali. He was a media personality, and he died in 2010. 2010. May his soul rest in peace. When we came, we didn't want to we had a long-term vision. We weren't actually looking at a school that begins and then has to hunt for numbers and put up structures. We wanted something that will outgrow our generation, live from this generation to the next. Nest of Hermon comes from Psalm 133, which states that how beautiful it is for children of, for brothers to live, to dwell together in harmony. In harmony. It says that it's like the beautiful oil flowing down the beards of Aaron, down to the collar of his robes. And it's like the dew of Mount Hermon. In other words, we chose those two. We came to be together, to work together as a family, which is harmony, and then to be as beautiful as that dew on Mount Hermon. Mount Hermon, when you research, it's a range of Mount Sinai. It's found in Lebanon. And it's there. It's on the map. It's on Google. You can search and find it. I wanted to put the distinction between harmony and Hermon. They both work on us. We live in Hermon. Actually, when you get a job in Nest of Hermon, the first thing you must master is harmony.
Living in harmony
with everyone.
Okay.
We have seen people who have come and have run away in 3 weeks because we are people who wake up and fellowship. We do morning devotions. We wake up to prayer from 6 to 7. You hear loud music. We are worshiping. We are praising. And so if you cannot stand that, it becomes hard. We will do devotions across the week for both the staff and the children. We do family visits. We do church visits. It's about harmony and joy. But back to the point, I'm trying to focus on these achievements that you want me to bring out. Our achievements are not in terms of structures, that we've built a storage structure
Building.
for the school, which is already actually we're on its first floor. We began in a residential house, and today we are hosted on a 2 acres land size in this heart of the city. Hoima is now a city.
Yeah, of course. Oil City.
Yes. And we are actually in the heart of Hoima. When you come, you reach the tax park or the town center, you can walk to Nest of Hermon. We have a good number of parents from their office. They walk to Nest of Hermon, pick the child and go home. Or sometimes pick, even first go back to office or to the business center, wherever they are located. We boast a number of achievements. First and foremost is to walk the talk. We say we're a Christian-based school, and indeed, I'm proud to say, to testify to Jesus, we are. How do we walk the talk? The competition out there is very tempting. Where in the previous years you've been hearing the slogan of 100% pass. Achieving 100% pass, where you have to level all children to perform to the first grade, is not something that you can jump out of the blue and achieve. Sometimes you have to push in ideas from external forces, sometimes which I've seen schools exercise examination malpractices.
Yeah, that's true.
In Nest of Hermon, no thank you.
Okay.
A child is when we say our child got a 5 and that's our best, someone out there will say they are boasting a 5 when there are schools that have scored with 4, that shoot up with 4s. No, to us a 5 is a real 5. Now when you go to where our children studying from, the 90% of our children are studying from outside Hoima.
Okay.
They're in Seta, they're in Budo, they're in Mugongo, Chibuli, and other schools. I really don't want to list.
So in other words, you track the journey of the students while they leave Nest of Hermon. Okay.
I would like to say something a little bit low that may not go right with some of our viewers.
Okay.
When you're promoting Christ, adversity is massive. Nest of Hermon does not sell as an exciting school, because we are so bent onto character formation, into biblical principles, into a number of things. So when schools, when people out there don't hear us talk about promote 100% pass, promote a number of things which are very general and common, we don't sell.
Okay.
But like I said, our achievement, one of our greatest achievement is sticking okulemera hamulamwa ngokuombeka omuntu ajja kuba the next senior citizen aina a sober mind. We have seen that because our learners go and come back to testify. They are leading scripture union clubs in their schools. They are proud. And so to us, that's the achievement.
Yes.
We have seen children change schools because they are pursuing the dream of the sports, the talents that we ignited in them. That's an achievement. I don't want to only focus our achievements on the academic performance. We are really there. We are performing well. Yeah. We are in newspapers.
And being the best in the academic year 2023.
So we can talk about academics all the way, but our greatest achievement is sticking to our main objective, that is promoting Christ in our learning.
All right.
Yes, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Fiona. Our viewers that are watching us live on Elkem TV, I'm very excited to see all these comments come through while you ask these questions. But let me go to Jordan. No. To the head teacher. Yes, to Mark. Yes, to Mark, the head teacher. Now, students, more especially while they grow, we have seen very, very many of them, they lose track, because now after they have gone to the vacation, now you've officially handed them over, you've handed them over to the parents, Usually they lose track, they forget all these things that have been learning in class, maybe simply because it is more of pumping them with classwork. Now, let's speak a little of extracurricular activities, within the learning of the students.
Thank you, Elijah. like you say, we talk about amidst the learning. What extracurricular activity do we give the student to relax to them, to make them relax?
And the personal development.
And personal development. Definitely, somebody says it that work without play.
Max.
Jack a
I don't
dull
know if I
boy.
remember that. but-
Yeah, Max Jack a dull boy. Now, like we have said, Nest of Women has a program. Not all the time that we are going to be in books. We have times where we need break. We have times, for example, we have times where we expose our children to educative programs. Not a matter of putting a screen for them and making them watch whatever they want, but educative programs. These educative programs, which are not exactly like to add them, we have two ways. I told you we do mirror casting, where
Okay.
we give them what is in class. But there is a screen, like he has said, which is next to his office, which is used. We make our children sit down and watch what we know is not going to make them learn different things. These days the world has changed. Men are becoming women and women are becoming men, which we don't support in Nest of Women completely. We don't. So
someone could say it inclusiveness, and the school is inclusive, and
not exactly that.
Yeah.
So we have different programs and activities. We have a time when the children are exposed to football. We have balls, definitely. We have times when the children are exposed to athletics, road work, to relax their brains.
You remind me of my little niece that happens to know whatever happens with football. And you ask yourself, honestly, you've been at school, boarding school. How do you know, man, you played who and who has been sold, who has...
Yeah, this is what we are saying. We focus our children. They are differently. Nest of Hermon recognizes, like we said, recognizes the talent of these children and their interest. With a guided way of doing things, if we see a child getting interested in football so much, we don't say we expose the child to getting there, but sometimes you sit down and say, this is what's happening. Are you getting it? And when it comes to music, we know this one is a musician. By the way, I want to invite you before anytime. We are going to have a mega concert, live music in Hoima this year, courtesy of Nest of Hermon. Live. Like I'm saying.
I can't wait to see the concert.
Live music in Nest of Hermon this year, a concert, very serious one. This is
I'm
what
sure
I'm saying.
also the producer will be very interested in that one because him and live music.
So we are saying we bring out the students from class and involve them in the things. Like you said, P6, P7, P5, P6, P7 have projects. They have a special time when they are off books. Put back your book in class, get out, let your brain focus.
That is on Fridays.
Not on Fridays as such. There's also another day within the week where I say, this day, no evening lessons. We are going for project work.
Okay.
Are you getting it?
Maybe the question would be, how do you draw the balance between classwork and co-curricular activities? The co-curricular activities are very interesting, but also they sound quite many. And how do you balance at the school?
The co-curricular activities we take part in at school. We said, like you asked the talent ignition manager and said, we talk to the parents. First of all, we get the interest of the child. We know at a time like this is co-culture. A time like this is sports. I mean, it is academics. Either this is all comes with the organization. There's a way we organize. We have scheduled organization. We know we sit down and know this date will be this, at this time will be this. This is Nest of Hermon. We don't do things haphazardly, not at all. We have an organization. We have a term planner. I like an organization, and this term planner stipulates what is happening at this time, what is going to be there at this time. So this helps us to balance the academics and the co-curricular activities.
All right, it's okay.
I think what is critical is I know our viewers would love to know, to understand how do we balance the two. You know, in class, there's a timetable.
Mm.
Each subject has a number of stipulated periods in a week. And the hour, the duration of teaching and learning, that interaction. It's a matter of balancing, or rather of being organized, as he's putting it, but ensuring that the number of periods per subject per week or per day are implemented.
Okay.
So what we do is to collect this, instead of putting like PE on Tuesday, it's allocated on Friday. There are these other extra activities, art and others, which to us we grew, we manufactured. I want to use the word manufactured because it was our initiative. So we were able to group them all on Friday. They don't come as fun activities like how for us we used to go to Kwepena, Kuzana Chodo, 7 stones, and you hit and run and etc. But this time they are planned activities with a time scope within which they should
do you award marks for these students that engage in these activities? I mean, is it on the report card?
We give a certificate at the end of the course because it's an ongoing course.
Okay.
Yes, it can be there that you're adding 90%, but these children make products. They make products. For example, in art, children are designing sandals. We'll buy these what they're called nigina bagagawale crocs. And then the children will embroider them. They will decorate them.
Okay.
They have art pieces. They have portraits, wall hangings. They design clothes. So the parent is in position to tell my child is at this percentage because they, at the end of the term, they're taking these items back home. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. Let me get to Jordan right there. Jordan, you're speaking a lot of technology. Yeah, the screens in the school, ABCD. Now, how have you been in position to embrace technology in Nest of Harmony? What are these things that you speak of and you're like, okay, we have the technology in ABCD?
Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, the vision bearer considered 2 categories. The first one was the staff. Actually, when these learners are going for swimming, they are accompanied by staff whose interest is in swimming. So that they also acquire the skill. And we always
that's a good one.
We always talk to the pool managers. You find that, for example, some pools, if you are a staff of Nest of Hermon and you can identify yourself with an ID, then for you will swim at a subsidized fee.
Okay.
Regardless of what day of the week.
Yeah.
So how do we ensure this exposure? Number one, we have a program. This program happens every beginning of the term. We look at what is trending. Actually, when you come to school, you'll find that our staff is classy, right from the person at the gate. Because we are so much into what is trending, what is new out there, kekiroho. And we shall look at all aspects, phones, dressing, name it. Secondly, we have free internet at school for staff.
Okay.
So it means each staff, if there is anything you want to research before you go to class, or for personal use, for example, it could be someone in catering wanting some information. He can search and get
So you don't want a situation where a teacher is teaching half-baked things.
Yes.
In the name of I didn't have data.
Yeah, that's what happens. So likewise, even with the learners, I'll give an example. The machines that we are talking about, and when I talk about these machines, we have an amp mixer, we have a crossover, it is a full set. Every morning they are wired by learners.
Okay.
The learner. Sometimes this guy who comes, we have someone who comes who plays for us the piano.
So that is how people are learning sound engineering.
Yes. But these learners know that, imagine all those wires you see.
Yeah.
They know which wire goes
I
where.
get confused even with our simple wires. Yeah.
Yes. So through that exposure, believe me not, children are learning quite a lot of things.
Okay.
I'll give an example. The school has a tab, and these learners sometimes are given time to search for what they want. For example, general knowledge. They want to understand something. Maybe there is a question, the teacher said something, they usually come, they are given this piece, and then they look for whatever information they want. So I have a feeling through those measures, we have tried to embrace technology. Maybe there is something I wanted to add on what the principal was saying. In most cases, when we talk of a Christian-based school, ours is a serious Christian-based school to the extent that in 2014 I got saved from these programs at school.
Oh, 2014?
2014 August.
Wow.
Nkarokoka nkaikiriza Yesu Kristo kuba mujuni wange. From these programs, now that is how serious it is. Kurora ba staff abandi n'abaana bakuwatura. You get it? That is how serious. When you come in the morning, you may think it's a crusade because we are doing it. Live praise, worship, we preach.
So in other words, the students, before they get into learning or lessons, you first dedicate them to God.
Yes, they know it.
Okay.
We dedicate them to God. Then we also have every Tuesday we fast.
Ako.
Yeah, at first, of course, what you're saying, I understand, but at first, by midday, I almost collapsed. By midday.
My brother.
But now, I'm someone who can even go in for 72 hours. Dry, no food, no water. You understand? Then we have a dedication week where we fast and dedicate the term every beginning, every second week of the term. We dedicate the school through prayer and fasting. Now, I want to testify that no catastrophe for the 14 years that we have run has ever befallen us. Tituina kichwa Kenya. Ekiohura masomero mwesomero tegwerirwe ekintu kiti. Believe me not.
I've had schools that have Bukalabanda.
I can't
like
move
that,
out.
that
I can't move out.
People are
of the
seeing
studio.
bones sloping in the dormitory.
I can't move out of here without testifying that. And the Lord has seen us protected. That is why when we talk of a Christian-based school, believe me not, we are a Christian-based school. And we are very humble people. And I'm very sure the viewers, as we talk, they are sensing an element of sincerity.
Humility, yes. And
we are very sincere people, and we are very humble people because we are Christians.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Jordan. Honestly, our time is fast spent, but I hope the producer gives us an extra so that we are in position to finish up with this particular show. Up next, we're going to be having the chat spots with Remy, mother of five, Nati Cavet, Talent. There is someone called Talent that is coming on the show after this one. And they're going to be speaking of mothers, the post-Mother's Day. We had Mother's Day happen this weekend on Sunday. So they will be speaking of the post-Mother's Day. Now, let me go through a little comments here. Apostle, okay. Sam Happiness says, the best school I know. Yes, Sam Happiness, I hope you can also tell us where you are watching us from. Pastor Esau Mbazi. Okay, now we are talking about Christianity. Yeah, so, okay, Pastor Esau Mbazi Mufumba says, do we have the means of transport for students who would wish to bring the students in Masindi this term? Mwina wentambule, okay. Then Jonad Foundation, wow. Jonad Foundation says, wow. Great job, Nest of Harmony and Elkem Television, watching live from Kampala. Thank you so much, Jonad Foundation. Blue Flower Amusement, watching live from Masindi. Then Blue Flower says, I know Relax Management. Yeah, I think this one saw the flyer, and yeah, he's wondering where is it, Relax. Then Onesman says, watching live from Boyale. Then someone says, big up to Elkem TV for hosting the best school in Bunyoro. I think she meant in Bunyoro. Then Apostle Lubega says, we are best in Boyale. Okay, thank you so much, Apostle, for telling us why you're best. I think he asked a certain question up here that, okay, he was telling us he's bringing the child next term.
Thank you, Apostle.
Yeah, then Apostle Luege is asking, I have my talented boys and girls who are aged 7 to 13 years. Can the school be able to give free bursaries to these kids? I think the principal will be in position to answer that. Then Atuhaira Conrad says, good afternoon, everyone. Then Gloshantel, you're just arriving. Yeah, Gloshantel is always watching us live from, that is Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi or Dubai? Saudi Arabia, okay. Thanks for the program. And she says, today I have missed live from Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Okay, no wonder I even told you you've come late. Usually is the first person to comment on these shows. All right, let me, the head teacher, you have the microphone. Maybe you're in position. Okay, fine. You want to answer some questions? Okay, you can answer some questions, okay, then please. I'll put it to the head teacher, to the principal.
Just not answering as such, but I just want to appreciate everybody who is watching us.
Okay.
And like I say, I'm going to echo it out. Our gates are still open. I can't live without telling people that our gates are still open. And
whenever they are ready.
Whenever they are ready, they are watching our contact on the screen, and let them be able to contact. We shall be able to explain more than this.
Okay.
When we get to contact.
All right. Thank you so much, your teacher. They spoke of talents. Yes, that is Apostle Lubega says he has kids, girls and boys, 7 to 13 years. Yes. Can they get bursaries?
Bursaries. Yes, we do have opportunities for talented children. And even talented in terms of sports and even academia. There are children who are excelling in class. They are subjected to an interview, and it's a special interview. Then the talented sports, we will talk, honestly. But so what I know is that the offer is there.
Okay.
It's standing out.
So there is nothing like, me I know to play the piano. Before you know it, they put it in front of you and you...
And you don't know. Yes. And you don't know. Yes. And I would like to specifically come through for the people in Masindi. I'm from Hoima, but my mother comes from Masindi, Ntoma.
Ntoma here as you're heading to, after Katasenywa. Really? No, you use, there is a route that goes up to there. Yes.
Buijanga or Bujenje. You can connect to Ntoma. And I think 2 weeks ago I was here. I lost an uncle, Mr. Frank.
Frank.
Frank of Rehoboth, yeah. And I have a big team here in Masindi. We have a special offer
For people from
for
Masindi.
people from Masindi. Just mention I'm from Masindi and prove.
And and
We
the
are
other
going
things
to
you will do
support.
themselves.
We
Okay.
are going to support because we are trying to extend our services up to here. There's someone who asked whether we have transport up to Masindi. It's not
Yes,
practical. Yes, it's a 45 minutes out, but the child's ability to endure the hectic
Movements,
activity of
yeah.
the day, the child wouldn't cope,
Yeah,
especially these ones who are young.
Okay, maybe trying to understand this question, he would be talking about the holiday program. Usually, you have like there could be transport for them to be brought back home for holiday and maybe to be picked up while they take them to school.
That is chicken feed. It's very possible.
Yeah.
We can do that. We just we organize. We have very few parents from Masindi who wouldn't really be worth fitting for using a whole van. And they come from along between Masindi and Hoima. But we are willing, very willing, once we can have a van full or two. We have our vans. The school has vans. We are willing to drop them, to come pick them to school. And when the term ends,
They bring them back.
there's something we didn't mention. For psychosocial support, our school offers a very unique service where our children, we don't do parents coming to visit VD, the ordinary VD. Instead, our children go back home
For VD.
for VD. they at every end of month. So a child
I wish I
visits
was
home 3
studying now,
times.
because now when I remember that the VD things you're there at school, even they have not visited you.
Exactly. So it's mainly for the emotional support of the child. We send a child back home on Friday and come reports back on Monday morning or Sunday evening.
Yeah.
The purpose is to ensure that the child feels her bed or his bed again, eats the home foods, puts on the home, refreshes, fresh for the next month.
Okay.
At first, parents rejected it and they refused to come for the children. But along the way, the children dictated. They started to see the joy the child expresses going home and how ready to come back to school they are on Monday.
Okay.
So even then, we are willing to bring the children to Masindi at the end of the month.
Okay.
And then on Monday morning, we
They
pick them
return.
and take them back, or Sunday evening.
Wow, that's a good one.
Special offer for Masindi.
All right. A special offer for Masindians.
Yes, please.
So I hope that our viewers are in position to pick that. That is a special offer. Now, before I get to the head teacher for a conclusion, could you be having collaborations and partnerships with Nest of Harmony, with, let's say, with local businesses or organizations out there? What are these partnerships or collaborations that you have?
There's what we call CSR, corporate social responsibility. We pattern mainly with our local churches,
Okay.
where we do support, basic support. Honestly, I wouldn't brag and say we do this, but we come through for our churches. We have partnering churches. In Hoima, we have All Saints Church.
Okay.
That's an Anglican-based church. We have Hoima Christian Fellowship Church. We have Pastor Revival Church. We have Victory and others. There are many. Then locally, we are. How do we say? Oluzungu sometimes lugo.
It's okay. You can use the other.
To partneringa mnono kama bwabunyoro kitara. We are
The
very
kingdom.
supportive of the kingdom egg to supportinga mno or programs of kama to hali bakabani betaaga obukonyezi tuyimukiramu tuli baana abo kama kandi tuli hamsingi ogwo. Then ekindi we support our local suppliers, especially our parents. Our parent has maybe maize or beans or whatever, rice. Normally, we buy our food and most of our products from within. We are lucky to have mechanics who will fix our vehicles. We have suppliers, etc. To cut the long story short, yes, we are very supportive of our community and we do work hand in hand with them.
All right. So, in other words, you do not import labor from elsewhere. you do not import, let's say, you talked about local supplies. Yeah, the likes of akahunga, ebihimba, yeah, things like that. I had the head teacher did mention macrons.
Even groceries.
Yeah,
We have parents with wholesale shops, supermarkets. They supply.
Okay.
We attend and they supply.
All right, thank you so much. Let me get to the head teacher for probably our last questions for this particular set. How has Nest of Harmony contributed to the local community?
Like the team leader said, I just want to elaborate more that that partnership, for example, we create business for the people around. It's not only business, but also create jobs. Because we can't get somebody to do security and say we go to Rwanda to bring that person.
It's
We
the
look
local
around.
community, yeah.
Are you there? We can't look like Nest of Harmony has a special case. It doesn't mean that when we have, for example, caterers, in our school we call them caterers, the one that are called cooks.
Abachumbi.
Abachumbi. For us, they are called caterers.
Okay.
Because even
They're
when
not
we bring
cooks.
these people, we don't have cooks in Nest of Harmony. We have caterers. We call them caterers because they do real serious catering. Locally, these people come in and we expose them to training also to empower them to understand what they do.
No wonder you do catering as a school as well.
Yeah, that is it. So we do that basically.
All right, maybe you can be in position to give us your last message as we get down.
Thank you, Elijah. And dear viewers, we thank you, and especially those that were watching us live and have commented and have given us encouragement. Nest of Hermon is a Christian-based school, like it is said before. When you bring your child to Nest of Hermon, you know one thing, that morally, spiritually, psychologically, physically, and academically, this child is going to be at a high level. We don't make our children go down, but we raise them up. And talent-wise, you know one thing, that even a dead talent, or a sleeping one, not dead, but a silent talent will be walking in Nest of Hermon. So we encourage you to come, especially people in Masindi. Ati nanyo original ndumanyine kambaza wakati. Nanyo na ikaraga Masindi kun. I taught, I know most people in Masindi know me.
Okay.
I taught in Masindi before I went to Hoima. I'll just send my greetings to Pastor Kawa. Robert. Oh,
Pastor Kawa, Robert.
God bless you.
Atenyi. Yeah, Pastor Kawa is our very, very great friend. While we were even unveiling this place, he was actually the guest of honor while we were doing our unveiling of Elkem TV. Yes. Let me get to him so that I conclude with the principle.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Elijah. I'm very pleased for this organization. I want to say something very fast to the viewers. The first 1 million that I earned in my life was not from the finance I studied at Makerere. It was from a sale of pigs. Emiliyoni nyabandize kufuna mbomezi wange
bona
ngagifuna katunda empuno zenyayororaka. Then the second million that I got was from constructing a playhouse for a certain organization. I want to inform our viewers that academics must have an alternative. And this is something that we understand so much at Nest of Harmony. I also want to encourage people from Masindi and echo what the principal said, that us coming here, we've had a special interest in Masindi.
Okay.
But also, I want to gwenda kuramukiaho omunyoro vigando Minyoro Bigando n'omukyala we. Ate nyowe nswera Nyakaabo Mukabigando. Kando
Bigando is into supply, into
is
agriculture?
hardware.
Okay.
Hardware.
Yeah.
Then the wife does general merchandise. So I want to say hello to them.
Okay.
And I want to end by saying I'm Jordan Kitasoboka, born again, and I hope to receive very many people from Masindi.
Okay.
And the offer stands. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Jordan. Now, as she gets to conclude this particular show, just about 2 to 3 questions. The first one, what offers specifically? What offers are we talking about here? Maybe you can be in position to tell the viewers. Then secondly, Urban Chef Saloon, also from the comment section, says thank you for the show. But also the question is, are there trimming opportunities for the students? Yes, that is from Urban Chef Saloon. Urban Chef Saloon is from Masindi here. Yes, the question came through from the comment section. Yes, back to you.
Wow. Thank you. Urban Chef
Saloon.
Yes. We, like I said, we do pastoral care. Our children shave from school.
Okay.
If it's viable for him to get that, actually they shave every after 2 weeks.
Okay.
He can both come shave. The earnings from the shaving are sufficient to cater for the cost implication. I think it's okay.
Okay.
We can
Wow.
do business.
Yeah, I guess.
The other offers, of course, is supplies, but we give first priority to our own parents, like I mentioned. And the issue of the bursary, we are very serious. We are Christian-based. We are committed to our word. As I wind up, please, I don't know whether I've answered all your questions. The last question.
Well, just about the offers, I would like you to elaborate these offers that are standing. The first one is?
Regarding the bursary?
Generally, the offers that Masindians have.
Yes, the first assurance we are giving is we will transport the learners. We'll come for our learners when the term is beginning.
Yes.
And we'll bring them back
when the term is ending. Then the second offer is we want to make the travel to Elkem Studios worth. Okay.
Our visit to Masindi worth.
Okay.
And so we are saying that the first 10 parents who will register with proof that they listen to us today.
Okay. Yeah.
We are going to give them a very, very fertile offer. I don't want, because we have tiny bits that come in, like there's school fees, then there's, of course, people from Masindi will definitely, most likely do boarding. So there's boarding fee, and then there's a feeding fee. So we'll see how there's uniforms when you're beginning here. So you find that we'll find a way, we'll remove the registration, we'll do a bursary on school fees. Of course, these other ones are personal effects, the feeding, the boarding, and other things. Then we can do business.
Okay.
Depending on what someone does.
Okay.
Maybe I want to end by appreciating Elkem Media for hosting us.
You're welcome.
I've found a vibrant team on ground.
Okay.
It's impressive. I would love definitely to do business with you.
Okay.
Secondly, I would like to appreciate people who made the whole time we've been here meaningful by watching us.
Yeah.
It means a lot to us. It's great, and may God abundantly bless you. I would also love to appreciate my family here, and I'm calling them to support as much as we are in Hoima. The excuse has always been we are very far. Mulihara. So I'm calling them the Sharons, the Carols, and others. I have aunties and their children. And I'm also calling upon the family of Rehoboth.
Yes,
It's
Christian
a church.
Fellowship.
Yes, it's a church that
I
I
am
fell in love
actually,
with.
I am going to meet Pastor Kawa in the next 1 hour or so.
Please pass my greetings to him.
Yes.
One thing I remember briefly, it's outside this, he touched my heart.
Yeah.
We were shattered. We were mourning my late uncle. But the moment he stood and spoke. to the mourners, everyone's heart came back to place. We were comforted. I fell in love with that church. It's an upcoming church. It's a growing church, and I'm praying that they permit us. Nest of Hermon must visit Rehoboth Christian Fellowship Church and also Miracle Center.
Yeah.
We are also going to identify other places. Now, when I talk like this, there's a bias that comes, the sectarian bias that comes with what I'm trying to put across. I'm like implying that we are mostly Pentecostal. I think that's not the case.
You have a lot of Jesus.
Jesus in there. But I've seen the Muslim community in Nest of Hermon very comfortable. You understand? We cater, we are very sensitive, but we still preach to them. You understand? Knowledge is wealth. So we create that awareness, but we don't enforce and push, and we are not conservative on our faith, but we create that awareness, and we are proud of who we are. Personally, I confessed Christ when I was 13 years. I've grown in this life, and it's what I know. So I don't know anything else other than leading a life of a Christian. So I want, whereas we have pushed so much our faith onto the people, but we are excelling academically, and we are excelling in preparing a child for the future. I want to put this across to the parents, that life here at the beginning, in early childhood, in the first years of the 12 years of life is fun and friendly and very convenient. Even when you don't have parents and you don't have all the care, a child survives. You grow, because all you need is something in the stomach, basic needs of life, to cut it short. But life is very lonely at the top.
Yeah, true. Lonely at the top.
Because you must walk it alone.
Yeah.
Even in marriage, where the two shall come together and become one flesh, it's still a single walk in this marriage. You must balance, you must manage your life perfectly. And there's no life, personally, because gray hair is wisdom.
Yeah.
I've lived on earth for some
You've
time now,
probably seen
so
a
I know
lot.
what I'm talking about. I'm talking through experience. That the best life is living a life that is associated with Christ.
Okay.
So us grooming these children in the fear of God is the best offer that we can give to our learners. I was so challenged last year. The team that sat exams, or PLE last year, these are children who matured to the point that by the time they left our school, through the years they were preparing for exams, they were reading, there were a lot of exposing activities. But one thing that stood out for me was the lunch hour program, organized by themselves, not as a school program. These children fasted, these children prayed, these children were calling for overnights, not because we are programming it for them, but they felt that need for heavenly intervention into their preparations. And they excelled. Wow. It was an outstanding performance. Okay. And that's what we want to put across. We want to put seasoned students, seasoned OBs and OGs out in the community for future progress and success of the country.
Wow.
For God and my country. Thank you.
Wow, that's a good one. Thank you so much, the principal. That is Joy Komujuni Nancy of Nest of Hermon Primary and Kindergarten School, Hoima in Kiganda. Our viewers that have been watching us live on Elkem TV, thank you so much for keeping it live on Elkem TV. This has been Elkem Business Spot. Of course, when you expect or when you need business results. Thank you so much, our guest, for making it on this particular show. And we hope we are in position to even interact more, even beyond this particular show. Thank you so much, our viewers. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Have a very good afternoon. Up next is the chat spot. That is the chat spot doing what? Unlocking social realities. Yes, unlocking social realities with Remy, mother of 5. Have a good afternoon.
Nest of Hermon Primary School, our school with the best interpretation of a child's future. Ogohikaho okarure bitebe kuruga baby mpaka P7 okarure okwehayo n'okufaayo kwa buhala abaana omanya bumanya ngu ebyo maiso byabo bimazirera kusimbibwa baina na daycare y'omulembe nibakufeera mwana waabo ainuka bakozesa abasomesa abalina ebipapula by'ekika kya haiguru omu nsonga y'okusomesa n'okwetegerezesa omwana kandi nibegesa abaana kutiina ruhanga habw'okuba amagezi niho gabandiza omuzaire Nest of Hermon Primary School and Kindergarten niyo esomerera kurakuraniza talanta y'omwana waawo habw'okuba ekikalu kigazi muno habw'okuzaana